Religion is excellent stuff for keeping common people quiet. Religion is what keeps the poor from murdering the rich. Alexander, Caesar, Charlemagne, and I have founded empires. But on what did we rest the creations of our genius? Upon force. Jesus Christ founded his empire upon love. And at this hour millions of men would die for him. This soldier, I realized, must have had friends at home and in his regiment. Yet he lay there, deserted by all except his dog. I looked on, unmoved, at battles which decided the future of nations. Tearless, I had given orders which brought death to thousands. Yet here I was stirred, profoundly stirred to tears. And by what? By the grief of one dog. Napoleon Bonaparte, on finding a dog beside the body of his dead master, licking his face and howling, on a moonlit field. After a battle, Napoleon was haunted by this scene until his own death. When a government is dependent upon bankers for money, they and not the leaders of the government control the situation, since the hand that gives is above the hand that takes. Money has no motherland. Financiers are without patriotism and without decency. Their sole object is gain. As for me, to love you alone, to make you happy, to do nothing which would contradict your wishes. This is my destiny and the meaning of my life. The hand that gives is among the hand that takes. Money has no fatherland. Financiers are without patriotism and without decency. Their sole object is gain. Great ambition is the passion of a great character. Those endowed with it may perform very good or bad acts. All depends on the principles which direct them. The extent of your consciousness is limited only by your ability to love and to embrace with your love the space around you, and all it contains. The battlefield is a scene of constant chaos. The winner will be the one who controls that chaos, both his own and the enemy's. I am surrounded by priests who repeat incessantly that their kingdom is not of this world, and yet they lay hands on everything they can get. All great events hang by a single thread. The clever man takes advantage of everything, neglects nothing that may give him some added opportunity. The less clever man, by neglecting one thing, sometimes misses everything. Impossible is the word found only in a fool's dictionary. Wise people create opportunities for themselves and make everything possible. To write history one must be more than a man, since the author who holds the pen of this great justiciary must be free from all preoccupation of interest or vanity. If the art of war were nothing but the art of avoiding risks, glory would become the prey of mediocre minds. I have made all the calculations. Fate will do the rest. One must learn to forgive and not to hold a hostile, bitter attitude of mind, which offends those about us and prevents us from enjoying ourselves. One must recognize human shortcomings and adjust himself to them rather than to be constantly finding fault with them. One must indeed be ignorant of the methods of genius to suppose that it allows itself to be cramped by forms. Forms are for mediocrity, and it is fortunate that mediocrity can act only according to routine. Ability takes its flight unhindered. From triumph to downfall there is but one step. I have noted that, in the most momentous occasions, mere nothings have always decided the outcome of the greatest events. We are made weak both by idleness and distrust of ourselves. Unfortunate, indeed, is he who suffers from both. If he is a mere individual he becomes nothing. If he is a king he is lost. The love of glory is like the bridge that Satan built across chaos to pass from hell to paradise. Glory links the past with the future across a bottomless abyss. Nothing to my son, except my name. All great events hang by a hair. The man of ability takes advantage of everything and neglects nothing that can give him a chance of success, whilst the less able man sometimes loses everything by neglecting a single one of those chances. It is only by prudence, wisdom, and dexterity that great ends are attained and obstacles overcome. Without these qualities nothing succeeds. It is not true that men never change. They change for the worse, as well as for the better. It is not true they are ungrateful. More often the benefactor rates his favors higher than their worth. And often too he does not allow for circumstances. If few men have the moral force to resist impulses, most men do carry within themselves the germs of virtues as well as of vices, of heroism, as well as of cowardice. Such is human nature. Education and circumstances do the rest. At the beginning of a campaign it is important to consider whether or not to move forward. But when one has taken the offensive it is necessary to maintain it to the last extremity. However skillfully effected a retreat may be, it always lessens the morale of an army, since in losing the chances of success, they are remitted to the enemy. A retreat, moreover, costs much more in men and materials than the bloodiest engagements, with this difference, also, that in a battle the enemy loses practically as much as you do, while in a retreat you lose and he does not.